We look things up on the internet so many times, it's become second nature to us. We enter our URL into a browser, then we get the web page we've requested. This happens hundreds of times in a day that we've developed a perception of how we think things work. You may think you're just requesting data from a server, but what if I told you that there's actually a service in the middle potentially logging your requests? These are what's called DNS, and while they can't view the data within their requests, they still know where you're going and what you're looking at. They can also effectively control and block what sites you visit based on rules they've created. To be clear, DNS servers are an essential part of the internet. These services resolve the websites we know into IP addresses that our machines can understand. The problem is our networks by default don't use root-level DNS servers, but instead are configured to access servers set up by either our ISP or corporations with their own agendas. What if I told you that we can build our own local DNS server that can request domain name mappings straight from root servers, all while filtering and blocking unwanted requests that could potentially contain ads and malware? In this video, I'll go over 4 reasons why Pi-hole is the best project you can do to upgrade your home network. First of all, my favorite use case for Pi-hole is using it with Unbound. By default, even if your local network uses Pi-hole as its DNS server, the service still interacts with third-party servers when it doesn't know the correct IP for a query. By adding Unbound to the setup, we can forward these queries straight to the root DNS servers, skipping third-party domain name services hosted by our ISP. Second of all, Pi-hole moves ad blocking functionality from our main machines to our network. This introduces the concept of network-wide ad blocking, and it does it with the use of block lists. With Pi-hole acting as our own self-hosted DNS server, when requests come in, it can refer to these lists and filter out requests as necessary, preventing these queries from ever getting through. This allows us to have a much more focused experience when browsing, as it reduces content irrelevant to what we're looking for. Third use case that I absolutely love about the project is how easy it is to set up local DNS records. If you're hosting a few services like a NAS or even a home server, you know that accessing these devices mean typing IP addresses again and again. With Pi-hole, you can map local IP addresses to custom names that make it easy for you to browse and play around with the services on your network. And last but not least, the UI. A lot of work has gone into building the UI of Pi-hole, and it really shows. Pi-hole saves all the queries done on your network and tags them based on their information. On the dashboard, you can see the total queries you've done and how much have been blocked. It shows how many queries happen per hour and also which clients request them. Clients can be named and grouped so you can apply different settings depending on their requirements. Local DNS entries can be added and modified at any time, and there are other various tools to help you get more information on whatever you need. Pi-hole is advertised as a tool to block ads at home, but in reality, I don't think that line justifies how useful this tool is. Despite all its popularity, I still think it's a massively underrated and essential tool that everyone should run in their own home. Thanks for watching.